Hey friends, welcome back. Today I am working in my 2024 6x8 Project Life album, and I am using the Simplicity digital kit from Citrus Twist. I've gone ahead and printed out just a selection of stuff. I haven't printed everything because there is a whole lot included this month. And so I've printed out some of the cards that I thought I would use. I've printed out some of the papers. I've printed out some of the elements. I actually fussy cut all of these by hand. They were pretty easy to fussy cut, so I didn't even bother pulling out my Cricut. I just got all of that done, and now I'm sitting down to do a couple of pages in my album. Now, the 4x6 cards that I've got here are not actually cards. They're just some of the digital papers that I really liked. And I ended up just trimming them out to a 4x6. One of my favorites is this kind of peachy polka dot one, which was perfect because I had this spread that I only had one little 3x4 photo in there, and it was kind of just a random photo of a waiting room at my chiropractor. And so I had room to kind of do something a little bit more decorative, I guess, and create this little clustered title card down the bottom here. In the end, I decided to pick kind of a currently card at the top around here. I'm going to fill all of that in both pages of my journaling using my printer and some Avery Clear matte sticker paper. I just do all of that in Photoshop, and the kind of good thing about this is that I didn't know I was going to use this around here card, and obviously if I had, I could have filled it in at the time when I went to print it, but I didn't. So my trick is just to pull that card into my document, and then I set up my text box on top of that. That way I can make sure that everything is in the place where it needs to be for that kind of card. So even though I didn't print beforehand, very easy to print afterwards. So I kept the spread super simple. All I really added to it was a few little tiny phrase stamps, and then it moved on to the back of the page protector. I guess one of the things for my process this year that works for me is having my photos pre-printed. The only downside to that is I'm not like designing the page when I'm printing the photos. I'm literally just printing photos so that they're done and in a page protector, and then I kind of have to work with what I've already printed later. In this case, I've got this digital card, 3x4, and it does have a little gap in the middle, which I thought would be perfect for either journaling or a photo. And in this case, I think I want to do the photo. If I was printing now, I might print that photo just a tiny bit smaller, so that it didn't cover up quite so much of the typography on the card. But as it is, I'm learning to let those kind of things go and just leave that. I really wanted this spread to pick up some of those like pinks and blues from my sunrise photo. If there's one thing from this time of year, and this was back at the end of May, the dark days of winter down here in New Zealand. It is spectacular sunrises. So worth kind of dragging myself out of bed just to take a selfie and enjoy the pretty colors of the sky, I guess. So I wanted to echo that in the elements that I chose. So I've tried to pick out embellishments that are mainly pinks and blues. I'm not going to use nearly any of the ones that I've picked out. In the end, I went with stamps instead. I've got my Brilliance Moonlight White ink, which is my favorite ink for stamping on photos. And I've said it once, I'll say it 100 times. The reason it stamps so nicely on photos is because I print at home. I've got a new printer, an Epson photo printer. It still is printing on Canon Glossy 2 photo paper, which just absorbs ink so nicely that it means that when you stamp on a photo, it just comes out really crisp and clear, and you don't have to worry about smudging. So I stamped that in white down the bottom, and you can see how great the contrast is down there. I really love how that turned out. So I wanted to simplify everything else to kind of make the stamping stand out a bit more. I had picked out all of these embellishments to create a little cluster on this 3x4 card. It's just a piece of paper. It's printable paper that I've trimmed down. I want to leave space for my journaling. Again, I'm going to go and type that after I've made the card. I am going to add an extra little stamp on here because I did want something else apart from just the two little digital elements. And in the end, I'm going to come back and stamp a little bit more. My original thought was that it would say just this moment, but they're too far apart to really read as one sentiment. So in the end, I'm going to partially stamp a couple of little words here. So it says embrace this moment. I just was so impressed with how the white turned out. I wanted to add a little bit more. So that is my two very simple pages done. All I've got to do is go away and add the journaling. Then I'm going to come back and show you some close-ups of both of those pages. Hey, thanks for spending a little bit of time with me today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple of videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.